Hi, so today I'm just going to do a quick run through of how I paint my army in terms of the Harakoni Warhawks colours. So it's an old Imperial Guard regiment that I selected to use the colour scheme of. And I'm just going to kind of run through the stages using the latest box of Scions, which again, because they're Warhawks and they're drop troopers, Scions are my go-to for this army in terms of the standard units. So I start off, as you can see, partial construction. So I kind of do the main body, the legs, that sort of thing. With these ones, I've done something new again, and I've kind of decided to use the extras, which I don't typically seem to use in terms of the grenades and the swords and stuff. But I always like to try something new, so that's something new I've tried this time for these guys. But in terms of the base, so you can see there, so the body, the backpack, the arms, and the gun are done in the Abaddon Black. Sorry, yes, Abaddon Black, my bad. And then the helmet is done in the Corax White, and that's essentially the base coats that I use in the starting position. As you can see, I kind of like to do the bases. I kind of like to color code all of mine because I'm kind of, as I've shown in other videos, going to do the combat patrol. So I always like to do the ring around in terms of their main color, and then the dirt as well. So here shows the next stage of the basing. So actually for the base of the model, I actually use either the, as you can see here, the Gotho Brown or the Kachan Flesh in terms of the basing, in terms of the dirt. But for the unit itself, so you've got the Karak Stone and the Lead Belcher. And I started to sort of put the detail together. So you can see here, got the main body armor bit as the Karak and the boots as well, and then the sheath of the sword, and then you can see all the armory bits that I've done in the lead colours. So you can see there, I'll just show you. So I've done the light and the antenna as well. So I've done the shoulder pads, sort of like the shoulder pads, elbow pads, the wrist devices, and then the gun as well. And you can see the bits of the backpack there, and then also I kind of do any sort of the symbols in the Carrack Stone. And then the helmet as well is sort of starting to take shape there, as you can see. So next comes the more finer details. So as I said, it's got the browns here, and then also the wraithbone for the what is it? The roll out, the sleeping bag, whatever you want to call it, the blanket for the backpack. And then as you can see there, the symbols done in the Carrack Stone, and then I've done the box and the straps in two different browns. Always like to kind of make it look a little bit different. You can see here sort of the helmet's kind of coming together as previously. And then here we go, the arms and the gun here. So you can see they're kind of slowly coming together with the wrist straps and stuff like that. And then for the body bit, basically the browns are sort of like the base, and then also I'll show you the ones that I touched up in a minute, but then you can see the straps on the trousers. So next, again, it's just a little bit added extra, but I seem to have a better end product. So the lenses I like to use technical that I'll come on to in a minute, but they seem to work better if I base them in the cold color here, which is the Rebuter armor. But it just seems to work better. And then at this stage, I also go back and use the Korak White, the Korak White in terms of the bits that I'm going to light up in a minute from the device. You can see there, I've got the gun insignia and the backpack insignia being painted the Carrack Stone. And he's kind of sort of, at this stage, he's sort of like ready to be glued together. So and this is the one that I've just sort of glued together just to show you. So as you can see, all the base colours are done. You can see the lead belcher on the insignias on the boots. You can see the boot straps and things like that. And at this point, I sort of tidy everything up and sort of recoat everything so it looks a bit neater and things like that, because then I know what's going to be seen and things like that. But you can see sort of like even in the difficult paint areas and stuff like that, it means that the arms and stuff are fully painted. So finally, so this is one I've done earlier. Here's one I've done earlier. It's like this children's shows all over again. So you can see here, so got the wrist straps and everything like that. I know it's a little bit different with this one because he's got the plasma gun in terms of the colours there. You can see the colours that I used on the arms and things like that, which I haven't got out of the box, but I'll show you in a minute. And then I've done brown for so I've kind of done these a little differently, so each of my units is sort of semi-unique. As you can see, I need to tidy up a little bit because you can see the old glue that I used to use to put these together. But in terms of the colours that I use overall, you've got the Tesseract Glow, the Agrax Earthshade, which I put on the Carrick Stone. You've got the Basilican Grey that I use for the guns to give them a little bit of a different one, and then Nuln Oil, the go-to for most things, but I use that on the armour, so the gun and the armour look a little bit different and things like that. And then for the devices, I use the Berserker Bloodshade. So you can go from the base, some of the detail, kind of again touching up a little bit more, and then this guy is the end result. And so that's what I do. So apologies, it's a bit of a long video, but I thought for anyone that's interested in my colour scheme and things like that, I thought I'd just do a quick run through. So thank you for joining.